training feinting, you're really talking about three different components. You're talking about the technical stuff, the tactical stuff, and the physical stuff. The technical stuff is mastering the movement patterns. Step here, do this, go there. The tactical stuff, this is the decision-making processes that take place in the situation. Things like timing and positioning. These aren't things that you necessarily train in an isolated situation. You have to have players around you to be able to develop these types of skills. How do I position myself in relation to a defender? What's the timing onto the ball? What sort of speed do I bring into the one-against-one situation? And these types of things. The last component is the physical component, and this really underpins both the technical stuff and the tactical stuff, and will ultimately determine how efficient you are at moving your body from a stable position outside of that box into a side point and past the defender. So here we're talking about lateral power, we're talking about weight distribution, we're talking about hip and glute mobility. We're talking about core stability to make sure that our posturing is good as we're carrying out the feint, and we're not losing any of the power that we've built up on the preparation to making that one-against-one feint. So if you're a coach looking for ideas on how to improve your athlete's ability to feint, stick around. If you're an athlete who's looking to put in an extra couple of hours on developing and honing these skills, the physical side for me is a very, very important one that's often overlooked by handball players. I'll put the warm-up link in the description below, so if you're an athlete looking to do some of these exercises, make sure you get a good solid warm-up with a lot of hip and glute mobility in there to make sure that we're well prepared for the session that's coming. So first exercise, we're going to put the cones around about 1 meter apart from each other. We're going to make some hop with lateral landings. Most specific movement this is designed for is a normal foot feint in handball, where we're coming into the defender and making the big exchange of movement over on the far side. What we're going to do, we're going to hop. We're going to make sure we get some air when we're making the hop. Okay, don't be sliding your foot or anything like this. I want us to hop into it, and when we come here, ball is in the air, we're going to duck with our shoulder, and we're going to make explosive movement over to one side. Okay, what we don't want to see here is when we come in, our upper body ends up following our lower body with the movement. We really want our upper bodies to be driving the direction. So I'm going to land, I'm going to come into position. Next exercise, we're going to build on that a bit. We're going to make it feel a bit more handball specific now. We're going to make a foot feint. We're going to make the hop, explosive lateral sideways. And once we've come into this position here, instead of landing on 2 feet, I want us to land in the same position as we hop from, and I want us to take an explosive step forward. So I'm going to make the hop, power, and forward. Making sure that when we make this here, it's going to be my upper body that's driving the movement here. So when I come, I'm going to lower, I'm going to come round with my shoulder, arm's going to be up to see now where the defender is and where his arms are in relation to me. See whether I can get around him before I then come forward. Next exercise is the double hop into lateral explosive landings. Same as what we did on the first part of the exercise, but instead of just making one hop and then the side, now we're going to make a double hop and really start to put pressure on our hips in order to be able to get ourselves back to the middle starting cone again. We're going to come up, hop, hop, and then we're going to get back into the middle afterwards. Here, the key thing is making sure that when we take this long lateral hop over here, that we spend as little time as possible before we get ourselves back in towards the middle again. Again, when we're making this hop, we don't want to be moving here and recovering from the situation. We want to be really making some power, ducking, staying on top of our feet by the time we get to that end point. So high step, and explosive movement. Next exercise, we're going to make a double tap with a return back to the start point. Okay, the objective here is to make sure that our steps here are aggressive, but by the time we get to this step on the far side and get ourselves back towards the middle, we haven't lost balance in our upper body. So I'm going to make a starting point like this. You can mimic the way that you would have the ball in your hand if you want. I'm going to take 2 steps forwards, and then I'm going to get back to the start point again. Again, what we're going for here is to make sure that after we've taken this second step and our body starts to go, or our legs start to go back towards the middle cone here, that our upper body doesn't get left behind when we're going. We want to have a nice small low center of gravity, so that by the time we get back, it's our upper body that's going to be directing the movement of the lower body.